Hello everyone. On today's episode of UX Speaks, we have with us two amazing talented and famous YouTubers, one of whom has earned more than 100,000 views on her video in less than 2 months and has more than 22,000 subscribers. She has also been featured on Navhind Times newspaper in Goa and has also been hosted in the Drive show by Indigo 91.9 radio station. She's a content creator and owns a page called Only Emilina. She makes comedy sketches. Put your hands together for Emilina Rebello. Our next guest is Steve Rodriguez. He's a content creator that goes with a channel name You Entertainer. He's famous for various social media platforms and also is the winner of a YouTube play button. He has more than 171,000 subscribers and has more than a million and a half views on various videos. He also is a part of carrying out many social experiments. Please put your hands together for our second guest for this evening, Mr. Steve Rodriguez.
So, good evening and welcome to our podcast channel. Our podcast channel is Yuvak Speaks. And today we have with us two very eminent guests. One is Emelina and Steve. So, I personally have always had a lot of questions regarding social media and the internet and this new age of digitalization. So, today I think looking at your channels, I'm going to get a lot of answers to all of my questions. So, would you
Yes,
like a
yes.
short intro?
Okay, Emelina, you're going first, or should I go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Myself, Steve Rodriguez. I have a channel named You Entertainer. I make funny as well as awareness videos on social media, and I'm so happy to be on this podcast.
My name is Emelina Rebello, and I have a channel called Only Emelina, wherein I make comedy sketches. So I'm really very much excited to be a part of this podcast. It's like a first kind of an experience. I've never been on a podcast before. So thank you so much for having me today.
Okay, so let's begin with our first question.
Yeah.
So, I would like to know, like, since you all are a major part of the internet, so what, according to you, why did you feel the need to get onto a social media platform? Why did you feel that this was a good platform for you all to promote your content? Why did you feel the need for socialization, for social media?
Okay. Should I start?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for me personally, social media as a platform was never decided. It was just so random. Like I and my friends got together and said, "Chalo, let's make a video on YouTube." And I remember my first video was a prank video. So we just made it randomly. And after a few days, we had a quarrel between each other. So I decided, let's start my own channel along with my friend Sandeep. So we started a channel called You Entertainer, and then we started making content. And while making content, I fell in love with this process. Like, okay, wow, this is like so good. I'm interacting with people. I'm making funny content. I'm making social awareness videos, and also I fell in love with this process, and that's how I came to this platform.
Okay, and
Okay.
what about you?
About me, I always wanted to do something with YouTube since I think the first year of college, 11th standard, but then I never had the confidence to like go on camera. So this lockdown, right, randomly I downloaded this app and I was like, let me just make a video, and I made a video and I just randomly posted it on YouTube. Now my first video is it's the biggest cringe ever because the audio and video is not in sync. I just put it for no reason. And then I was like, oh, like people are liking it. So I kept on doing that. And then my one video just did really well. And that's how I was like, this is fun. And I kept doing it. So to summarize this, I really did not feel like it was a need for me. It was more of a want. Like I just wanted to explore it. And that's how I ended up here.
Okay, that's really interesting. Your journey has been really interesting, though. So, moving
Yeah.
on to the next, initially, so socialization and digital media was basically a platform, like started as a platform for people to connect with one another, for getting to know people. But lately, if you've seen, it's become like a business. So it's like a business platform more like connecting with people. So what do you have to say about it, Emelina? You, what do you have to say about it?
Um, Basically, it's not even about the platform, it's about people. So wherever most of the people go, people try to leverage that opportunity and try to create it in the business. Prominent example would be TikTok. Now, TikTok was created just for like every person just to bring out their inner actor, I would say. But then it went on to become such a huge platform that even they started running ads and they had their own, like how Google has their ads, Facebook has their ads. So it's more of
Right.
an opportunity. And once like a lot of people start using it, obviously if I was a owner of an app and I see a lot of people are being on it, I'll also try to like include more products wherein, I can get more revenue through that. So that's basically I feel that's how it works.
Okay. And Steve, what about you?
Yes, so I completely agree with Emilina. You're a creator and you start uploading videos daily, consistency, you get a good amount of audience, right? So that
Right.
audience, a brand approaches you like, okay, I have a company, you promote my brand in your videos and I shall pay you good for that. So that's how you get money. Or maybe a brand, a platform comes to you, you create videos on my platform, you be a sponsored creator, I will pay you for that. Also, there is YouTube monetization as a business platform. There is Facebook monetization, and of it, last night I see that even Instagram monetization has started. You can monetize your IGTV. So in
Right.
US it is available everywhere, and in India it's going to come soon. Just for selective accounts, it's right now, but it's definitely going to be worldwide. So social media is evolving a lot. Like you can see, they're giving opportunities for creators to earn through their work, which is a really good thing. It's motivating many creators to create content. So that's how social media is evolving a lot, and that's a really good thing for all the content creators that they can earn through their work. So that's a really positive point for everyone.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah, like Emilia, you spoke about TikTok being banned. So, what was your reaction when TikTok was banned? How did you react to
As an Indian, and the content that I was like, oh, finally people will start taking their life seriously. But then for some people, that was like, as you said, business, right? For some people, it was a source of income. And I'm not talking about the people who are from well to do families who do it for fun and gain money. Like, there were really genuine people. Like, I'm sure you must have come across, like, people from the fields, people who stay in huts, like, they have gone viral with their dance and their talent. Like, for
it?
them, I felt a little sad. Otherwise, I thought it was a good decision. But you know, every app, like there are a lot of similar apps now. TikTok has become Takatak. I just recently saw that, and I was like, it's of no use any which way.
And Steve, what about you? What was your reaction?
Okay, so for me personally, I was really happy when I seen that TikTok is getting banned because of the cringe content. But then later on, I realized that okay, when I'm a content creator, that like so many more content creators were there on TikTok. There were so many talented people too, and all of a sudden, you come to know one night ago that oh, TikTok is banned, and people got so much fame, so much reach. They got a good reach, a good amount of audience. Because of that, they got so much brand. They basically so many people had their living on that, and all of a sudden
Right.
TikTok gets banned. Okay, that's a disappointment. And but now there are so many more platforms that are come similar to TikTok. Like you can see Instagram. Instagram also has good reels. So then many of those audience have come on Instagram, and also platform is there. But honestly, I would say that it was for a good cause, boycott China. So it's like okay, the creators who can understand. Okay, it was for a good cause, so it's fine. Like
Uh, so, um, so just like everything has two sides of it. So, what is your opinion about fame and criticism? Because I'm sure you all also face a lot of it in daily lives. So, what is your opinion about it? So, Steve, can we go with you first?
okay, so if someone wants to be a content creator just for fame, all you will get is disappointment. Okay, I'm sorry to say that, but yes, you get a lot of disappointment at start. So yes, you will definitely get fame. Fame is like a side gift to your content. Okay, with patience, with consistency, with good content and consistency. I repeat again because consistency is really important to grow in a social media platform. You will definitely get fame, and you must just consider fame as a side gift that you get from your content. And criticism, yes, you do get a lot of criticism. At start you will definitely get a lot of criticism. Okay, my own friends were saying like kya bekar video banata hai and all. Yes, you get a lot of criticism, but with time, with knowledge, with experience, you definitely overcome it. You get to learn a lot from the things, and you will definitely improve your content with time. So I would say that criticism, you do get a lot hate. Yes, you do get a lot of hate. I say that all the content creators do get a little amount of hate. So you should just ignore the hate and hate is just basically people who want to put you down, who are jealous and who spread hate. People who genuinely do not do anything. Those are the ones that spread hate, and people who actually are doing something do not have time to spread hate. So that's what I wanted to say about this.
That's actually very good thought about it. It's very well said. What about you, Emelina? What's your take on it?
I like whatever he said is like on point. I just would like to add that even if you get famous, you really need to know how to control it, how to make use of it, and how to leverage it. Otherwise,
True,
it's
true,
either
very true.
gonna make you or it's gonna break you. And secondly, criticism is something that everyone needs, not only content creators. Even you as a person, you need criticism to grow. Otherwise, you're gonna get your head in the cloud 24/7,
Yes, yes,
which is
I
not
agree. That
gonna get you
motivates you.
anywhere. Yeah, and also we as people, as a person and as a content creator, need to differentiate between criticism and hate. Hate is something they will just hate you even if you're breathing. So for them, you just need to ignore. But sometimes people who criticize you, they actually help you to get better. Like they will tell you. Like for my first video, people were like, "Your videos are okay, but your voice and audio is really bad. Like, can you get a mic or something?" And I invested in a mic. So it is that way. You just need to understand how to differentiate between criticism and hate. So that's my take on that.
I totally agree to that. So, like, I have seen both of your channels and I have seen very relatable content. So, I would like to know what inspires you all when you all sit to write or create your content. So, Emelina, would you like to start?
I basically make my content on what I observe. That is the first thing, what happens around me. When it comes to inspiration, if I'm slacking really bad, if I feel really lazy, I just think about my failures, because that haunts me. My failures haunt me. It's like I don't want to feel that feeling again. So instead of that, just shut up, just get away from your distraction and write that script. I keep on telling that to myself. And my biggest inspiration is my elder cousin. Like whenever I am stuck in something and cannot understand, she'll actually give me an answer without answering it. Some people who you just have a conversation with and you realize, oh yeah, you're right. So that's
Mhm.
my inspiration, and that's
Okay,
how
and
I work.
Steve? Steve, what about you?
Okay. So I agree with Emilina that most of our contents we get through our daily observation. Okay, we observe something, we write it down, we think about more content on that, and that's how most of the content creators make content. And my biggest inspiration is my dad. I see my dad coming up in life, struggling, and also I will always follow my dad's footpath, and I will make him proud and my mom proud too. So they are my inspiration.
It's
That's
really
really
nice.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the use of digitalization and social media has given rise to a lot of addicts. So, what do you have to say about all of these social media addicts? What do you have to say about them? Like, can we start with Steve first?
Okay. So for the social media addicts, okay, even I was one of them before. I took control on it. So for the social media addicts, I feel like okay, just close your eyes and think 5 years down the line, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be? And with this, spending so much time, so much energy on social media, will you be able to accomplish that? Like a lot of time goes on social media, you won't know only like okay, I spent 3 hours, I go back of Instagram or YouTube, and then again I open it. It happens with everyone, right? So I would say that you can spend that time, that energy on something that you actually want to see yourself 5 years down the line. Okay, social media is really addictive. It releases the dopamine, the good feeling hormones. So yes, social media is addictive, and you must spend that time, that energy that you're spending on social media, unwanted time on social media, on something that you want to be 5 years ago. Spend that time in building the foundation of your success, and definitely you will thank yourself 5 years later down the line that okay, good, I took this decision and I spend my time more productively. So that is my opinion on this.
Yeah, that's
Emelina?
very well said, I feel. And the first thing that any social media addict should do should be self aware that, damn, you are addicted. Like, people spend like 5-6 hours on it. और फीड पे होता भी नहीं है कुछ, मतलब यू आर ऑल कॉट अप देख के फिर भी वापस इंस्टाग्राम पे आने का क्या ही मतलब होगा. डू समथिंग इन लाइफ. लाइक nowadays people are very much जाके मोटिवेशनल वीडियोस तो देख ही लेते हैं लेकिन उसके बाद कुछ करते नहीं है. सो आई फील इंस्टेड ऑफ स्पेंडिंग दैट टाइम ऑन वाचिंग मोटिवेशनल कंटेंट, लाइक ट्राई टू self motivate yourself and do something. So in short, I would like to say if you're an addict, just be aware of it. One tip that I can give you: as soon as you wake up in the morning, for 1 hour, don't check your phone. Like, and that will tell you if you're an addict or if you're not an addict.
Okay, so since we all spoke about how much time we invest into social media, what is the average amount of time you require or you spend on every social media handle? So, Steve,
On every
okay, yeah, we
social
start with
media
Amelia.
and
Any and every
on
social
every
media handle, like how much time do you spend on an average?
I think I spend before I used to spend a lot of hours. Like as he said, he was an addict. Even I was too. Like I used to binge watch a lot of videos, and Netflix, don't get me started. But I if there is some new show coming on dropping today, then I might spend a lot of time, which is not really good to say in a podcast, I'd say.
That's okay.
But yeah, but otherwise, just like 2 3 hours of the 24 hours that I spent. I mean, cut some slack for me. I'm a content creator. Okay, I can spend 2 3 hours on social media.
Okay, and Steve?
Okay, so I had seen like basically according to research and I like an average person spends 2 hours surfing and all. So I feel that you should just spend time whenever you have a free time or like okay you want a break or something. So that's cool to be on social media or something. Okay, you want to for some entertainment. Okay, you're watching some funny videos like Emilina makes funny videos. You're watching Emilina's videos. You're watching something. Okay, it's fine. But when you have to act, you should have discipline. Okay, you have scheduled your day. You should do this. So you should definitely do that and not spend that time in social media or something that is not going to gain something. Okay, we are content creators. We upload videos and all. That's okay. I'm not saying that's fine. That's okay. We see, but we shouldn't spend. I'm not saying we are not, but we shouldn't spend our time unnecessary on social media just for okay you spend a lot of time on social media, negativity increases. I personally feel negativity increases. You see some people, okay, you compare yourself with them, which you shouldn't compare. You should be the best version of yourself. And while comparing, you get a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of jealousy, which affects you. It affects the psychology. So yes, you should take a little control on your social media just for a break or just to keep yourself refreshed or something is fine, but not a addict to that.
Can I also add that a lot of us seek validation on social media, which is really bad. Like if someone is telling you your ears are big on social media, like tell them to like nickel because that's not what it is. It's like one hate comment is gonna ruin our day. I
You
have
should just
reached
ignore
from
that.
that point. I have reached from that point to not giving, like, not caring about it right now. But
Right.
for me, I require that kind of mindset. But for normal people, it really ruins them and maybe leads to anxiety and depression. One of the reasons why a lot of teenagers suffer
Yeah,
from.
that is one of the main reason negativity increases. You hear people, okay, what is this photo you put? Are you look so fat, you're this, that. So that all negative thoughts it plays with the psychology of the brain. So that is one really bad point of social media.
Correct.
Yeah,
Totally
actually,
second
very
that.
well said. So, along with spending a lot of time, you also see a lot of aspiring influencers. So, what do you think if you have to suggest the aspiring influencers? What is the best platform for them to get started with? Anyone who'd like to start?
I
Okay, I'll start.
you want
Uh,
yeah.
Currently, there is no best platform to start with. To be really honest, if you want to build a brand, it has to be across all social media platforms. That's what I feel. But if you really need a lot of reach right now, currently in the market, reels are doing really well. I've seen normal accounts getting 7 million views and all. Followers are like 3,000, but views 7 million and all. So if you really want to start with a good reach, I think reels is something you should really leverage right now.
Okay.
Yes, so I totally agree with Emelina in this. If you want to post videos, be a content creator, you should try being on all the platforms. But if you want to increase your reach, Instagram is the best right now because if you Google and you see also Instagram has like a 500 million active users right now. Whereas if you compare to YouTube, YouTube just has 200 million active users. And the plus point on Instagram is that you already have an audience. Okay, you already have your friends on Instagram, but on YouTube and other platforms, you just need to start from like zero subscribers. And on Instagram, there's a lot of friends. They will share your content. They will support you. So if you have just one choice, please go for Instagram. Start Instagram first. Instagram will definitely be much more better than other platforms right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and to be very honest, the subscribers that I've gained so far, let me tell you, it's not with the YouTube algorithm. It's just that one of my videos started going viral on Facebook and in Facebook
True,
groups
true,
and
true.
WhatsApp, and that's how all the traffic came to YouTube. So it's like an integration of all the platforms.
So I think that's a really good tip for all our aspiring influencers. Please keep that in mind. Moving on, so now you see a lot of budding content. So there are different types of content. So what do you feel the content creator should invest in? What kind of budding content should they invest in? Steve, you want to start with?
Want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. So, budding content creators should basically do what they like. Like, okay, I like to cook food, so I should make content on cooking food. If I like to play an instrument, I should make content on playing an instrument. If I draw really well, I should make content on drawing really well. I shouldn't be someone who I am not actually. Okay, I do not like that, but I feel that has a little more reach. I might get a little more fame, so I shouldn't do that. Leaving myself, like not being myself. So basically, I would say that's something that they love, that they actually know that okay, they love this thing, so they can definitely take that up instead of being someone else who they are not. So you should just be you, whatever you like, just put out that content with time, with patience, with consistency. You will definitely get a good amount of audience. So just be motivated, I would say, and yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, let me also tell you guys, of all of those who are watching, why Steve said that you should do what you're passionate about, because pretending is not gonna work. After a while, you yourself are gonna get frustrated. Arey, I'm doing this for the people. This is not what I'm happy doing. That's what he meant by that. And secondly, you also have to find a intersection wherein it's your passion and it's something that people can watch. You always cannot do what you love to do. Like what Steve does is he does social awareness, which are like really at his peak according to what is happening in the country, to see what how people
True.
react to it. So that is relevant, and that is also something he likes to do. About me, I like aunties bug me a lot. That's how I started. I started ranting about aunties, how they gossip about everybody. So that is what I love doing. So yeah, do what you love, but also people should watch it. It shouldn't be something very
Yes, true.
narcissistic. You
It
know what
should
I
be
mean?
like related to people.
Correct. That's what we want to
Also,
convey
Evelina,
to the
I've
stuff.
seen in your videos, you also include your family members in them. So does your family use social media?
My yeah, all of them do. Even my
Okay.
mother, my auntie, they love spamming us with good morning messages on WhatsApp. I'm sure even you have them in your
Right,
home.
definitely.
And they are very supportive of what I do. Like initially they used to tell me what is this, and but later on they started, like my cousins are very supportive, hands down. Nowadays they tell me your video is ready, your video is ready, your video is ready.
It's really
They are
sweet.
very supportive. Yeah.
Okay. And Steve, do your parents use social media?
Yes, even for me, my family is really supportive. My brothers are there on social media. My mom, last month she came on Facebook, and she is definitely there in my most of, not most, I can say few of my Instagram videos. She's there, and she loves to be a part of it. If I take like 5 minutes to be ready, she will take like 20 minutes to be ready. Okay, I need to put my lipstick. I need to look nice. Like I shouldn't look like a mother. I should look nice. So she is really supportive. My entire family is supportive regarding creating content. So that's it. Like everything is going good and everyone are supportive.
So do they
Now
encourage others also to use social media?
Yes.
yeah, I wanted to add something.
Yeah.
Some of the content creators who start, their parents are really against them, and that is really demotivating. But I think for a while you can go against your parents, because there comes a point where they start supporting you if you're really doing well. I'm not giving a bad advice saying that go and do some nonsense. No, if you're really doing good, they will support you. Trust me. You just have to keep going.
Yeah. Your parents basically just want you secure. So that's why they think that okay, they might
Right.
not have much knowledge that through content also you can get money. So they just want you to be secure. Okay, you can do a job, something that is better, something that is going to give you a living. So that's
Correct.
it. That's why your parents do care for you about that. But you should just like, okay, your parents are not supporting or something. Try doing content, keep making content. At one point, they will definitely support you once you say, okay, I am having a living through this. So it's going good.
Right. Right.
Correct. Correct.
So just like TikTok and many other apps were banned, very hypothetical situation now. What if YouTube was banned, or what if it never existed? What would be your backup plan? What platform would you use and why? So we started with Emelina.
I'll go on Takatak. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Reels, I said Instagram. I'll start creating content on Instagram, like those 1 minute snippets that everyone does. I'll start doing something like that. And before it getting banned, I hope I have a chance to tell my audience over there that, guys, please say bye to that, come here, something like that. So I think Instagram is where I'm gonna go.
And Steve, for you?
Okay, so I am pretty sure if, God forbid, if YouTube gets banned, there will definitely be like more hundred of platform coming up just to take over YouTube, like competition, nowadays. So there would be a lot of more platforms. Okay, come to my platform, and then slowly the audience too will increase over there. So that's it. And Instagram is always there, Facebook is always there. So there is always audience over there. So if YouTube bans, it would be a shock to many content creators, but definitely more other platforms would come to take over YouTube. So that's what I
Correct.
wanted to say about
Right.
this.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
So my next question to you is, what is your take on pornography and exaggerated, misleading content? Steve, would you like to start?
Yes, that starts. So it's illegal. Still, there are like so many things available. So I don't know really what to say about this, because if it has to be, like, kids are exposed to it through many ways.
Right.
So a little stricter rule. That's what I would have. That's what I want to say. I don't know much how to reply this. Okay, I need to think on it. Emilna, would you like to take over?
Yeah, yeah. So pornography, right? Pornography shouldn't be banned in this country any which ways when we still have porn and we also have increasing crime rates, like especially rape. And the second thing is, why shouldn't be banned? Because a lot of kids, I mean, even I discovered it accidentally at a very young age, because no matter how much of child lock you are given, how much of protection you're given from your parents, you are going to get exposed to it. And I think it's a process of growing. You have to go through that. And misleading content, I think there is no such thing that can protect you as of now, because a lot of content is out there that does not even have proper warning. It's just there. And right now, our television, especially our web series, are like going a lot of ahead with showing nudity and all. You know what I'm trying to say. So
Right.
kids really
Yes,
get
yes.
exposed to it at young age. You really cannot control it right now.
Okay. So like you see on any other social media, whenever anyone puts something, especially a content, people are trolled for it.
Yeah.
So what according to you is the best way to deal with all this negativity and all of these trolls? What is the best way for you? Steve, you want
I
to go
think
first?
he both are going
Yeah,
to say
sorry.
ignore it. I
Okay.
think we should say ignore it, because if you keep on replying to that, it's like these
You're
people are come
encouraging
with,
them basically.
yeah,
Right.
these people are come with an intention to make you feel bad. No matter how much of logic you give, no matter how much of a proper argument you give them, they're still gonna just like say random things and just go out. And basically, these are the fake accounts to do that, so they don't even have the courage to do it from their personal accounts. So might as well ignore
Also,
it, right, Steve?
yeah. Also, I would like to add that, okay, because of negativity, there are many people out there that don't go forward with it. Okay, they got negative, they'll just keep thinking that, okay, I don't need to continue this because I'm getting a lot of hate. If you do not get hate, you won't be able to, how do I say, you won't be able to increase, how do I frame it, like, you won't be able to come up in life if you do not get hate. So you will definitely get hate. You just need to ignore it. Like I said previously, those are the people that are jealous of you, that want to pull you down, and those are the people that actually do not do anything. At least you are doing something they aren't doing. So you should just ignore it basically and continue doing your work. Yes, that's it.
Correct. Actually, I was one of the happiest person on planet Earth when I got my first dislike. I was waiting when someone will give me that first dislike. You get that YouTuber wala feeling, your first hate comment. And now it's just there in my review section. Nobody's looking at it.
That's a really different aspect to it. So, coming to the end of our podcast, the last question is so now the older generation finds it very difficult to understand why are we so addicted or why do we use social media so much. So, what would you like to suggest or advise the older generation about the use of social media? Anyone can go start.
Steve.
Uh, Okay, I'll start. So
Yeah.
basically, like they were not much exposed, the older generation, to social media. So I feel that okay, if they are little expert, like okay, my grandmom she plays Ludo, like she was never known to Ludo, the online game Ludo. So once she started playing, she continued to play. Like you can see our parents also they also got involved into WhatsApp and all. So they weren't much exposed. That's why they have a little bit problem in coping up with the social media, coping up with all WhatsApp and all. So one advice I would give that please tell the older generation not to spread fake rumors and all. Okay, you get something on WhatsApp, they just believe it's true and they forward it. So that basically creates an awareness of that certain thing which is not true, just a rumor. So that one thing. And to the younger generation, please do help the older generation. They are not much coped up with this situation. So please do help them. Do not ignore them. They are, of course, how do I say? They are, of course, related to you, and so please do help them. And that's it. Emelina, do you want to say something to this?
Yeah, also, I think, sorry, I fumbled. Also, I think our older generation is much more prone to get scammed because they try to
Exactly.
believe everybody is very genuine on the internet. I think we as younger generation should make them aware about to stay away and how to. It's not really very easy to filter what is fake and what is genuine, but I think we can help them with that. And yeah, as he said, please help your family members, especially your mom and dad, when they tell you, Arey, how to send this WhatsApp message, Arey, how to do this. Like, please help them. Don't get mad at them because someday when we are going to get old, probably there's going to be more AI based stuff, and we wouldn't know how to use that. And we'll ask our generations who are going to come further. So remember, it's a circle of life. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, so before we end this session, let's have a small little activity because I have noticed, and personally for me also, when people text, especially using daily conversations, they use a lot of abbreviations, a lot of short forms, which I also sometimes don't really understand. So we'll have a short little activity where I'll be naming a few commonly used short forms, abbreviations of those, and we'll have fastest finger first. So you can just raise your hand probably, and you can answer that. We'll do
Okay.
that. Yeah. So starting with the first one. First one is WID. What does that stand for? Okay, Steve, you want to go?
What you're doing? Like something, I
That's
don't know.
right.
Okay.
Evelina, you want to say something?
No, no. I just remember this. Can I share this one instance
Sure.
that nowadays people are like they don't even want to type. The other day, one friend to me was like, "Ru, HRU, like Ru." Like he wants to ask me, "How are you?" And it's like Ru. I was like,
It happens to me also many times. Like I actually sit and Google it up to know what is the meaning of what they're trying to say to me. So I think yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. The next is
yeah.
TTLY. Emelina,
Talk to you later.
that's right. The next one, BRB. Okay, Emelina,
Be right back.
that's right. Next, IDK. Steve.
I don't know.
Okay. And next is TBH.
I don't know.
Steve, do you want to try? Okay, Evelina.
To be honest,
Ah,
Right?
okay, okay, okay. I'm so sorry. I heard it as TVF. Something about TVF. Okay, TVF. Yeah, right.
TBH. The next is ASAP. Steve.
As soon as possible.
The next is DIY.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
Evelina.
do it yourself.
Right. Okay, and coming to
Oh,
the
I
last
discovered this
one.
right now.
FYI. Evelina.
For your information.
That's absolutely right. I did
Oh,
not know some of them myself. So that was a really fun session with both of you. I really had a good
I got
time. I
I
hope.
got to know two short forms today.
And which were
Two
they?
new short forms I got to
Which were
know.
they?
The last one and the DIY one. DIY, yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah, they
that's
make a lot
nice.
of videos, do it yourself videos.
You're right.
So I think it's come from there.
So I think along with all three of us, even our audience got to know a lot from today's video.
Yes, yes.
So let's come to the end of this. Any thank you speech?
Mm,
Yeah, I
you want
want
me
to
to go?
say thank you to Yuak for having us, and especially you, Avril. You've been such a wonderful host. Like we did not feel awkward at all. Let me tell you. When I joined this podcast, I thought I would have to like behave myself, but then you made us really feel comfortable in this podcast. So thank you so much for having us. And
Thank
also
you.
thank you to the person who did the questions. I mean, they were really fun. Also the game. So yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Emelina. Anything from you, Steve?
Okay, as Amina said, we were like really nervous at the start and all, and Avril made us really very comfortable. So thank you so much, Avril. Thank you so much, the entire UWork team, for approaching us, for inviting us. We were really happy to be a part of this. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful audience who are watching this. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so finally coming to a close. Thank you to all those who joined us for this podcast, and especially to Emelina and Steve. I hope we had a good session today, and we have a lot of take back from this video. Thank you.